What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Trading Learning 101. I hope everyone is having a great weekend and studying up. It is going into Sunday. It is after midnight here, July 29th. I am a bit of a night owl. Let's get into this. This is going to be the weekly recap video. I'm going to do this every weekend to show you guys the process that I go through to going over the whole week, seeing how all these stocks performed, and preparing myself for the upcoming week. Maybe eventually, as I start to grow more subscribers, I will start doing this live on YouTube so we can all do it together. But for right now, I will just be recording these and posting these. Now, I hope you all have a pen and a notepad, and let's take some notes on all these stocks that performed during the week, and let's create a little watch list to prepare ourselves with a plan for next week and to see what next week will bring us. So to get started, real quick, I am going to clear all of these watch lists. This is what I do every weekend. I'll clear all of these, and then I will bring up my scanners, and I will go by, and then I will go through each day on the scanners and just do technical analysis on every ticker that was the biggest percentage gainer. The only one I will leave open is my index. I never delete that one. So I have all my indexes right here. I highly recommend, if you're on a trading platform and you're able to have a watch list on the side here, put all the indexes in right here. It's always good to know when you're trading or observing the market what the overall market is doing. Let's see what the SPX did this week. So first off, I always look how the overall performed this week. Now this is the SPX, the SPY 500. So as you can see here, this is the yearly chart right here, and it's just in this uptrending channel, and it hasn't been able to break out of this channel yet, and it looks like we're right at this resistance wall right here, and it's bouncing right off of it, and it's dropping right back down. So putting trend lines on these is very important because a lot of these stocks follow trend lines. And you make these trend lines because other traders are drawing these trend lines as well. Same thing with the QQQ here. Another up trend line up. So it's trending. So far this year, it's just slowly trending up. But what we're not really seeing this year is volatility. And recently, this past week, was earnings season for a lot of these big companies. Twitter, Facebook. Facebook took a beating. Let's just pop that up real quick. I don't normally go over these big companies. When these big companies make a big move, it does affect the market a little bit. But Facebook didn't affect the market when it had this huge drop right here. This came out with positive earnings. They lost a lot of subscribers due to what happened with the whole privacy issue thing when Zuckerberg went to trial and all that drama. So when earnings came out, it said they were good in earnings and they beat estimates. They lost a lot of subscribers. And you can see that this drop right here from 218 all the way down to the 170s. Now that's a huge drop. I think I heard something on Yahoo Finance. I'll get notifications from my Gmail and my Yahoo Finance app that Facebook had one of the biggest drops for a stock in the history or something. It was something like that. I wish I would have saved that little news clip right here, but yeah, that's Facebook. But other than that, another big move this week was HMNY. Now, they did a reverse split on this. And when this stock was trading, it was trading around pennies. And this is one of those last summer, this just went on a parabolic move from dollars all the way up. This thing went to, I want to say, $30 last summer. And then it just slowly died off and died off and died off. It's a piece of crap company. What they do is they're a subscription company for movie passes. So you were to pay them a subscription and you would get to go to the movie theater anytime you would want, but you're paying a subscription to these guys every single month. The company's not doing well. It's a piece of crap company, and you can clearly see that right here. They recently did a reverse split on this, and when they did a reverse split, it was like a 160 reverse split. The stock went from pennies. How much did they open this at? Hold on, let me see here. I'm going to try to pull up the news thing here. They borrowed $5 million to pay vendors, and their shares sink 62%. The shorts made a killing on this. And these weekly watch list videos are going to be pretty long, guys. Just to give you a heads up, because I'm going over the whole week. One for 250 reverse split. They did this. That is just ridiculous. So if you're a really bad penny stock, you were once at $40 or something, and you just slowly fell off the whole year, all the way down. This thing was at like 25 cents, I believe. And they did this one for 250 reverse split. And when they opened it, it was opened. That's wrong right there, but I'm trying to pull this up. Hold on one second. They opened it at around $27, $28. When you're a true penny stock like that, you can't do that. You know, no one's really going to put up that money to buy this company when you put the price up too high like that when it was a penny stock. And you could clearly see that right here. It opened up, it went sideways, and then it just had this huge, huge drop. Look at that. From $22, then it opens up around $14, closed that day around $10, and then the next day it closed around $6. And then the day after that, which was Friday, it goes from $7 all the way down to $1.86. This thing just got completely destroyed. Shorts could have made a fortune on this. And it just goes to show, if you keep track of these companies, you know, there's a lot of potential to make money on them if you know what you're doing. All you got to do is go to Yahoo Finance and connect the dots. Read the news articles. Do the research on the weekend on these. Now, I wasn't paying real close attention on this, but I kept hearing a lot of traders talking about this on Twitter, and they would post it in the news feed. After I would read it and I'd go and look at this, I just couldn't believe it. It was just insane. But this is HMNY, just a crap company. Let's bring up the scanners. We'll start with Monday. That's what we'll go through. So I got my biggest percentage gainers right here. I think I already have it loaded up to Monday. Yep, the 23rd Monday. So Monday, nothing really went on in the market. It was a slow day in the market. There's been no volume really the past 2 weeks in the market because of earnings season. Now when earnings season pops up, that's when the penny stock market starts to slow down, because a lot of the volume gets pulled away from the penny stocks. And a lot of people are looking at these big companies that are about to be releasing their earnings. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all those big companies. are coming out with their earnings. So all the big money is going to be paying attention to that. So it's very important to, just be patient and just sit on your hands and wait when earnings season comes up. And you will see a lot of pumps, a lot of pump and dumps going on in the penny stock world when earnings season is going on. The last week we had MTSL. It was like every single day. No press releases was really coming out, but then if there was a press release, no volume would come to it, and it would gap up, it would open, and then it would just slowly die off all day. And then and then when that happens, these traders, they're so desperate that they want to trade and make money that they start pumping these low float stocks. And MTSL was something that traders just kept going to all week. This week it kind of died off and it just went sideways. Thursday, traders kept going back to this all week 2 weeks ago. Let me go back 10 days here. Hold on. 10 days, 1 minute. So look at this right here. So when nothing's going on in the market, like I said, all these pump and dumps keep popping up. And when one pump and dump goes on a really big rip and holds its gains, the rest of the week pretty much traders are going to keep going back to that same stock if nothing else is going on. And you could clearly see that here. This MTSL was a great play for 2 solid weeks. A week before earnings and the first week of earnings. This past week it didn't do anything, but look what it did right here. It goes from $1.45 all the way up to $6.50, and then it just dumped off the last half hour of the day. It just completely dumped. And then the next day you had a sell off, a little bounce. All right, it went sideways. And then the day after that, look at that great spike right there from 225 up to 368. And then after that, you're starting to get choppiness right here. And then it just slowly died off. But this was a play for, like I said, a solid 2 weeks. All because of its low float. So going back to this past week right here, we didn't have really much going on. As I said, the earnings season was going on. We had NIHD Monday. Let me clear off all these drawings. So we got Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, right here. So this was Monday right here. And this was just a slow grinder all day. From 373 up to 419, 425. Not much, but it was a slow grinder all day. And then the next day, that's when it really started to get momentum and take off. Look at that. It gapped up, opens up at 430, and then hits a high of 560, and then was just choppy really the rest of the day. Just doing these bounces here. Right here around $5. It kept bouncing, going up to 525, 530, and then coming right back down. And then the next day, after that, it just went sideways, still kind of struggling to get over this 550 resistance right here. If you go back and connect this spike right here, this is going to act as a resistance. So as you can see, it was just slowly moving its way up to it. And then it fell right back down. And then the next day after that, that's when we got to move up. From 526 all the way up to almost $6. So 75 cents right there. This was all last week right here. Here is the daily chart. As you can see, this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. From 364 all the way up to $6. It looks like it did have a little news release here on Monday. This is what it said. Traders circulating World Cohen earlier issued note suggesting a non-competitive auction process for the company could yield stock price in mid-teens, and if multiple bidders emerge, price could quickly go up to $20. That's just predictions. But I am seeing auction in here. That's not good. But there's really no news on this though. So it just goes to show you right here. Nothing's going on in the market. Traders want to trade. They just slowly bought this and pushed this up and just manipulated, or not manipulated, took advantage of its flow. Yeah, and compared to multi-year, this hasn't been at this level since 2016. So 2 years. As you can see right here. So this is a multi-year breakout right here. That's what that is. But meaning that this is up right now and holding its gains, I would add this on my back burner. Let's see if I can get the right button here. So back burner. I am going to add NIHD to my back burner, and let's see here. The float on NIHD is a little too high for me though. It's at 100 million. And its earnings date is saying it's 6 days away, and it's at a 70 on the RSI currently. I'll just be keeping my eye on NIHD. I'm going to say if it comes back to the 25-cent area and if 525 holds, because that was an area beginning of the week it was having trouble breaking above the 525, 550 area. So I'm going to highlight 550 and 525 to see if how it reacts around those price areas. See how it acts around these price areas, and it couldn't even get over $6. So keeping an eye on this is what I will be doing, and seeing how it reacts, like I said, to the 550, 525 area, and when it comes back up to the $6 area up here, to see how it reacts. $5 is going to be very important for this stock, because if it breaks below $5, I believe it's going to be done for. Next up, we have CUR. CUR really didn't have much of a change. As you can see right there, it's got 17 cents, and the volume was 1.8 million. We could check it out. $1.20, $1.59. See, there's just no volume in this. Next one we had, I remember this one. DDE. So DDE Monday, this was the one that was one of the plays on Monday. It had a big move up pre-market, and it did have news. Let me pull up the news here. That it was up 53.5% pre-market after the company announced merger agreement with Twin River Worldwide Holdings. So that was the news it had on it. And then they came out with earnings. And when they came out with earnings on this, they beat Q2 estimates, but they were break even. They didn't do anything on their earnings. They broke even. See? Right here. Sales was 44.13 million, or 113 million, up from 43.305 million a year ago. But if we bring over this chart right here, right there, they're earning $0 right there. And they see what it did. What last time it had 0 right here, it did absolutely nothing. But it looks like this, I mean, it gapped up a lot, and it's pulling back right now. And it's got all this room to drop right here. Even the float, let's see what the float is on this. Float is 16.4 million. But let's go over what it did. I remember it not really doing too much. Let's zoom in. So it has this big gap up here from around $2 up to a high of $3.25. It opens up right here at $3.13, drops down to $2.83, then starts to move back up to $3, and it breaks over $3 and starts creating a higher low. And then when it starts to create a higher low, it started forming a wedge up right here, as you can see. And it just broke out of that wedge at 323 and spiked up 25 cents to a high of 349. Sold off, and it just went sideways the rest of the day. It didn't do anything. So this was on my watch list for Tuesday to see if it was going to have maybe its next leg up, but it just never did anything. And we'll see that right now. This is Monday. So people who would have swung this stock, it gapped down, and then it slowly climbed back up, very, very slowly. And then look at that, it just slowly died off as the day went on. And then they released earnings right here, and they were break even on their earnings. And it just dropped. Just no volume came back into it, and it's slowly petering off. So I'd say unless this company comes back out with another news release, this is done for. What it's going to do is probably slowly but surely fall right back down to where it was down here. No one's really excited about this. And you don't want to bag hold these. You don't. These are penny stocks. They're pieces of crap companies. Let's see if we can connect see, it bottomed out here at 285. If it breaks below 275, it's done, I'm going to say. And it bounced right off of 275, coming back up to around the $3. But like I said, there's just no volume in on this. Let's see, volume. 400,000 on Friday. Thursday, 300,000. Wednesday, 500,000. And then Tuesday, it had almost 2 million in volume. And then on Monday, it had 28.5 million in volume on Monday. And look what it did Monday. For 28.5 million in volume, I'm not too impressed on what this did. Yeah, I had a nice tiny little morning spike right here, but with 28 million in volume for this whole day, I'm not too impressed with this area right here, because that means that this stock needs a lot of volume for it to move. And when it moves up, it's not really having any explosive moves up. So I won't be keeping an eye on this. The floats, like I said, is around 16 million. And a little 25-cent spike right here. I don't think it's worth it. Let's move on the scanner from Monday to Tuesday. Like I said, nothing really happened on Monday. I wasn't impressed with anything on Monday. So Monday was the 23rd, going now to Tuesday, 24th. I should probably have my scanner up here too to see what was popping off in the morning. So we had AWX. Now AWX this whole week was just crazy. Capital CRAZY. Crazy. This was just so crazy and manipulated. It wasn't even funny. I made a video on this on, I believe it was Tuesday. I was just watching the level 2 on this, and it was just making really crazy moves and was not making sense. it would just break out, and then volume on the level 2 and the times and sales would just die out of nowhere. And as you can see right here, it would just fade off, and even here, drop off, and then it would just have an explosion up. It was really, really weird. I did play this. I did play this on Tuesday, and I lost on this. I lost $250. So I played this on Tuesday. And yep, right here, this makes sense now. So I let this drop down, and it started to make higher lows, and I got in on it. And when it came up, I was anticipating this to make a U-shape up and break out, or at least, scale my way out as it U-shaped up and hold on to some and test it to see if it would break out to new highs. It just had this big red candle right here, and I sold on this red candle down as it was a failed breakout. This sold off and then went sideways, and then it moved up, and then it went sideways again on this VWAP right here, and then it just exploded from 343 up to 425, hitting a high of 445, just making crazy moves. But it was right here. I was making a video on the level 2 and watching it, but I deleted the video. Like I said, I don't know why I deleted it. I wish I could have it back. Just shit, because the level 2 was so messed up. It was insane. It would, as it was consolidating right here, and it was coming up, the ask was getting chipped away really fast, and I seen a bunch of huge orders here on the bid. And then it would move up, and then it would just all stop. And then it was really, really weird. Really weird. It would come up, the times and sales would go crazy with sales of buying, and the ask was getting chipped away, like I said. Huge bids stacking up over here, and then as soon as it moved up a little bit, it's just everything stopped. It was really, really weird. I've really never seen anything like that. It just sold off here. And then look it just boom, it just exploded again out of nowhere. Now, I'm not hating on this stock. I think this is beautiful. This is crazy stuff here, though. Look what it did on the daily. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 solid days right here. That's just crazy. The volume on it. 13 million, 10 million, 2 million. The first day it traded, right here, 2 million. But like I said, just crazy, crazy moves. It would spike up big, and then it would just drop hard. I got a picture for you guys I'm going to show you in a second. But let's continue going over this real quick. So it was almost like it would come down, and a lot of buying, like a big, huge order would go through to spike it up, and then it would just drop right back down, and then it would consolidate. A huge order would come in, spike up big, and then drop off. That's what it felt like, what was happening. All right, it sold, it washed out, sold off this morning, comes around, does a U-shape, doesn't really break out strong, falls off, and then it starts grinding up. And then you see how it just explodes over this VWAP right here? I'm telling you, you gotta have the VWAP on your intraday chart. A lot of traders have the VWAP on their intraday charts, and you want to be looking at what other traders are looking at. And this is a really, really, really good example right here. It was grinding up, and you can clearly see it right at this VWAP. It just exploded over this VWAP from 459, 460 up to 525. That's a 55-cent move right there in just 4 minutes. Does a double top right here, pulls back, and then fires back up. What I noticed too about this liked bouncing off of the VWAP a lot. It really did. This was Thursday. So then it opens up, grinds up to 808, and then just slowly dies off. And then this is where a lot of shorts started shorting this, because it did this right here. This is a pattern. Look at that. This is what the shorts are setting up. It's making lower highs, and it's coming down, and it's bouncing right off this VWAP. And what it's forming, that's a wedge down. And when it cracks this support here at the VWAP, it's going to collapse. And that's exactly what this did. So this is a pattern shorts would be looking at. So as soon as it would have cracked right here, they would have gotten in for a move down. Or they would have gotten in up here at the top when it's hitting this line. And they're just riding it down, waiting for it to crack this for a big move down. So it cracked it from around 725 to 591, 552. That's a big drop right there. I'll just put the drop from here to here. That's a $1.70 drop, 30%. That's a big move. So then it consolidates more, moves up, and then slowly dies off again. And I believe this is the shorts piling in on this. As you can see, when it sold off here and then it started to consolidate, yeah, it moved up, but it didn't break over this resistance line right here, and it didn't break over this VWAP. So shorts are like, all right, this thing's coming back down. So they start piling in on it, piling in. And then it tests this resistance wall again, and then boom, it explodes up. And then when it explodes up right here, this is when you have a lot of shorts panicking and they're covering their positions. It pulls back just a tad bit, and then it has another explosion up from $7 up to $8.87, almost $2 right there. Wow. That's straight up shorts getting squeezed, getting panicked out of their position. Get me out. And look at that. Hits a high of 8 and it just went nuts. And this all happened at the last hour of the day. Literally right here. And this is why we call it power hour, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. A $5.22 move. 87%. All within an hour. Now this is where you make the big bucks. This is where it pays to be patient. Wow. I only played this once on Tuesday, and after that, I just did not, I didn't play it the rest of the week. I just did not feel comfortable in this stock at all. The level 2 was so crazy. It really was. But it was also a beautiful thing to witness something like this. I'm not hating on this. Oh, it's manipulated. That's so messed up. It's crazy. Who cares? You know, take it for what it is. Learn from this. So it has, oh my goodness. So this was the Friday move. Okay. And look what it did. Wow. Look at that. $13.15. 218% it moved. This all happened Friday. And you want to know why it happened Friday? I got a picture for you guys. Let me pull it up. Hold on. This is why it happened right here. Someone bought 1.9 million shares. They literally bought the float just to screw all the shorts. And when they bought this is what happened. This is what happened. Now, there's a couple ways I think this would have happened. And like I said, I personally think it happened when the stock was making huge rips up and then falling down hard. I think this person, when it fell down, he was buying big quantities of it, which would cause this to spike really huge. And then it dropped off hard. And then he would do the same thing, buy a huge quantity of it, and it would spike huge again. That's what I think happened. Or he could have purchased it in this area and just squeezed all these shorts. All these shorts just panicked and bought. What's this? His name's like Guy something. He is the CEO of SureTrader. They're linking it to him because he's been known to just buy absolutely huge orders of a low float stock just to squeeze shorts. And they linked it to him doing GBR and now this one. And this is just crazy, buying 1.9 million shares of this. And now it's going to be very interesting to see what this does on Monday. AWX, 1.9 million shares. July 27th, 2018. And you could find this stuff just by looking in the SEC filings. Go to sec.gov and it's all available to you guys. You just have to dig and search for this stuff. That is just a crazy, wicked move right there. And just for that, this is going on the weekly watch list right here. Wow, what a crazy move that was. That's insane. A lot of people blew up their accounts Friday for this move. That's why I always say never underestimate the market, never underestimate a stock. Anything can happen in the stock market, anything. And what clearly happened here, shorts thought that this was the top and that this was the end of it, and it was slowly breaking down. So all these shorts started piling in. You got a U shape right here that failed. It respected the VWAP in this resistance line. It was making lower lows and lower highs. And it looks like it's making a huge wedge right here too with this the previous day close. And it was looking to crack again. And then out of nowhere, it just exploded up. And then that's when all these shorts started covering and buying volume came in. And it just started surging up. And it just went bananas. Wow. This could easily keep going on Monday. But I would be very, very careful with this stock on Monday because the SEC could halt it at any moment. Just like CalI. I believe CalI didn't even open yet. Yeah, CALI is still shut down by the SEC. As you see, it's still loading. And I pull up the chart right here, and its last trading day was on the 13th. You don't want to get caught in a hole. I'll tell you that right now. So just be cautious with this stuff. You have to. AWX was pretty much the talk all week. AWX. In Facebook with its huge drop. This was just a very slow week, and everybody had their attention on AWX. Also, at the beginning of the week, we had SCOM. Now this is a reverse split it just had. This had a 1 for 10 reverse split here on the 24th. And like I said in my previous videos, these stocks that are coming out with reverse splits and they have a low float have been loving to do huge spikes. And here is another example. MDGS was a previous one. Let me go back to that. We'll go back, I think it was 10 days ago, around that. I think it was right here. Opens up 6:30, runs up to 9:30, comes down 6:30 again, up to 9:40. It just did a reverse split, and it's a low float. SCOM, same thing. Reverse split, it's a low float, opens up, just slowly look like it's going to die off, and then from 8:35 it explodes up to 1288, and then it just died off the rest of the day. And then the rest of the week it didn't do nothing. Look at that, it slowly died the rest of the day. And this is why you don't bag hold these penny stocks. From 1288, now it's at 290, almost $3. These are pieces of crap companies. You trade the ticker, not the company. So reverse splits with a low float have been the trend this year, and also new IPOs have been breaking out and just going crazy. And on Friday, SSLJ was that story. Now, this has only been open for not long. This opened up February 5th, and you could see it really didn't do anything. And then it had this big drop right here. Well, this had a news release on Monday. Let's bring that, or Friday, let me bring this up. So on the 27th, it says the former CEO of SSLJ, Wei Zhang's Leju Fortune recently discontinued its operation and received negative media coverage, which may have caused volatility in SSLJ.com. This is a Chinese stock. What they do, they deal with remodeling, construction, furniture, I believe. It just had a really good spike today, and this is going to be on watch on Monday. Add this to the weekly list, because it's got record high volume for when it's opened. It's got news. So other traders are going to be reading the news article over this on over the weekend. But this has been a very weird one all week here. And look, it's had that explosive move up right there. There's no news on it. No news at all. If I bring over the daily here, you can see it's had a red day, 1, 2, 3, or a green day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days in a row it was green. Worked its way up to this 535, broke through it a little bit. Price immediately got rejected, and it came back down. Now it's pulled back, and look at that. Look at that long wick right here. So it opens here at 550 and then quickly sells down to 430, 440. That's a big drop. That's a $1 drop here within minutes of the market open. Let me zoom in on this. And you can see there's no volume on this. And then it just quickly explodes up from 423 up to 560. So just very weird. And this is a low float play here. I believe. What's the float on this? 3.7 million. So I'll add this to my back burner just to see what it does, because this easily could get momentum. Volume could come in on this, and it could just, like I said, get momentum and just start exploding up. On stocks like this with no volume and it's making crazy moves like this, it's very, very, very important to keep an eye on the spread. Now look at this right now. Even though it's the market's not open, this is a 25-cent spread. So if you were to buy this, you would immediately be down 25 cents if you were to sell this. So, like I said, it's very important to keep an eye on the spread when watching these stocks because you don't know how big the spread is. Some stocks could have a 1 cent spread, a 5-cent spread, 10, 20, 30. I've seen stocks with 50-cent spreads, 70-cent spreads. So that's why it's important to keep an eye on that. You don't want to screw yourself. But this upcoming week, I'm going to be still cautious on the volume. We did start to see positive and strong volume on Friday, but it doesn't mean we're out of the clear yet. So let's move on to another day. We're going to move on to Wednesday now. So Wednesday, it looks like we had a few tickers pop up here. AWX, Mossy, GBR, Seed. GBR had a huge spike right here from 250 up to 340. And look at that, it crashes right back down. That's why you don't chase something like this. You wait for it and then you wait for it to pull back, set up a pattern. Yeah, this did look like a wedge. I'll put it right there. This did look like a wedge as it was starting to make higher lows, looking to break the resistance here. But then that's why you wait for it to break out of the pattern. And this is a failed pattern right here. And it broke down. And all of these that popped up right here, they all don't have much volume, as you can see. We'll look at Mossy, M-O-S-Y. Mossy just had a little move here from $2 up to $2.17. And then look at that drop. Boom! And they had good earnings too. So that's why it spiked up like that. They announced good earnings. This spike happened because this whole day was anticipating earnings. And then they finally released earnings, which was positive. And then when everybody who bought right here, as soon as they released the earnings and it was positive, they all dumped their shares. And look at that. They all dumped it down to $1.30. That's a $1 drop right there. And it just goes to show you, just because a company has good earnings doesn't mean it's guaranteed to spike. So we're going to move on again to one more, SEED. Let's see what Seed did. So this had a move from 780 to 1090, but no volume on it. Thursday. Okay, MTSL, and I remember BSPM right down here. So let's look at BSPM first. BSPM got a notice from the NASDAQ of a delisting. When they got that news release, it goes from $1.40, and this is fast. Look at that. It spiked from around $1.40 up to $3.47. A $2 move. That's crazy. Zoom in like that. And then it just drops hard. Look at that. You do not want to be caught in that. And that is why you do not chase. Do not chase at all. Wait. Drops off hard. And then it looked like it started to hold right here. And then it surged up. And it almost did a double top right here. And that would have been an opportunity right there. And then the rest of the day, it didn't do anything. It just consolidated and sold off. And then the next day, it just had a good morning spike. Opens up right here. See, it started to move up before the market opened. And then it drops down, bounces right at this VWAP right here. And then surges up from 210 up to 310. And then just slowly died off. Just taking advantage of its low flow. The low flow on this is 2.2 million. Crazy, huh? Biggest percentage gainers. MTSL. Like I said, everybody had their attention on AWX. So really nothing, not too many tickers this week. MTSL on Thursday, 230 up to 310. With any news? No news. Just, I would still keep my eye on MTSL. It's still holding its gains somewhat, and it's looking like it's setting itself up for something. As you can see here, it spiked. Okay, it came down, spiked. It's just having bigger bounces, it looks like. But there's no news on this. That's the thing. When this gets over $3, this thing likes to take off. But like I said, this is just a pump. Just traders taking advantage of its float. I would just put this on my back burner for next week. Not really too much. Just a slow week because of earnings. Let's finally move on to Friday. SSLJ, we went over that one. AWX, BDR, and TORC. TORC. Nothing. I see a huge gap up here from $9 up to 27, and then it just got destroyed. Negative phase 2. This is why I really don't mess around with those pharmaceuticals and biotech stocks. They just do wicked, crazy moves, and they are just so unpredictable. You can make a lot of money with them, but I personally don't feel comfortable playing them. The next one was BDR. Yeah, and as you see, it just, even though it's on the biggest percent gainers, it's got no volume, 169,000. But the two main plays Friday was SSLJ and AWX. This is where all the attention was on Friday. So I will definitely be keeping an eye on AWX just to see what it does Friday. And these are just going to be on the back burner. NFEC, just to see what it does. It's got me curious to see what it does after it grinds up all these days. And then it drops off. And then it spikes huge the last minute of the day. Last 2 minutes of the day. From 420 up to 560. That's crazy. There's that one. MTSL, just keeping an eye on it. And NIHD to see how it reacts in this $5 to $6 price area. Always remember, crazy moves like this is what can bring volume back into the market. So with this crazy move, a lot of traders are going to get FOMO, fear of missing out. Now, this is what we wait for during slow times. It takes one stock like this to have a huge supernova parabolic move like this to easily get all the traders' attentions and the volume back into the penny stock world. And now I am excited for Monday to see what it brings. This could start something big. This could start a hot streak. I love moves like this. Even if it's manipulated, I don't care. This brings in hype. This brings volume. What does volume bring? Volume brings opportunity. What is opportunity? Opportunity is profit. Let's get it, guys. Money Monday, as we call it. And just be patient, wait for your plays, and try to be disciplined. Wait for your setups. Only trade setups you know. Don't just get that FOMO, fear of missing out, and compulsively buy something, because you never know if you could be buying at the top. Even the best traders are wrong sometimes, but what do? They stick to their plans. They stick to their strategy, and they cut losses fast. You have to cut losses. You have to. Just because it's going down. And I know it sucks being under the PDT rule and only having 3-day trades a week. But take advantage of those 3 trades and develop a strategy to where you become like one of the best snipers ever. And you just sit and wait. Wait for that shot. All it takes is that one shot to cover. If you cut your losses fast, every trade, it takes one great trade to cover all those previous losses and then make money on top of it to grow your account. One crazy move like this, having patience, and you'll be all right. Patience is very key, and so is cutting losses. And like I'm referring back being under the PDT rule and only having 3-day trades. I know it sucks. It sucks when you take a trade and you're using one of your trades and it's a loser. You don't want to hit that sell button because you don't want to use up that day trade. You got to get over that. Get over that. Cut that loss and learn from it. Don't get stubborn and hold on to it. I've done that so many times when I first started out getting in on a trade and it turned into a loser. And then I would sit there and I'd hold it, hoping for it to come back up to the area I bought it in. And it's just getting further and further and further and further away from me. And I would finally cut it and I would lose over 25%, if not more, of my account. I've been there. I've done it. I've never bag hold for days or weeks, but I would really, and then I would watch a spike. I'd lose really big on it, and then later on in the day, it would spike right back up and above where I bought in, and go on a $3, $2 run, and I'd be kicking myself in the butt because I sold it for a loss. You can't beat yourself up over stuff like that. Even when you're first starting out, you gotta go through trial and error. You gotta make those mistakes to learn from them. Trust me, I know. I've went through it all. I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I've learned a lot along the way, and I'm trying to share what I've learned in the past so you guys don't have to make those mistakes again. I've taken a trade where I've lost $1,000. It sucks. It sucks really bad, and it sucks a lot out of you. It makes you want to quit this and give up. But you can't. You got to stick with it. Learn from it, grow, and just be very patient. That's a lot of what this is patience and waiting. Not compulsively buying something when it starts to spike. Expand that mind. Study, 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 study. Psych says it all the time. But alright guys, that's it for this one. The weekly recap. Not really much going on last week because of the volume in the earnings season. I'm excited to see what the market brings this upcoming week with this huge ripper right here. Hopefully this huge rip right here, this is what we needed. This is going to bring attention back over to the penny stocks. This is going to bring volume back into the penny stocks. A lot of people are going to see this and get FOMO. The fear of missing out, and they don't want to miss the next one. There's gonna be a lot of low floats popping off next week. Just be disciplined, wait for your setup. Just wait. There's gonna be a lot of low float pumps going on next week. I'm telling you right now because of this move. A lot of traders, like I said, are gonna have FOMO, fear of missing out. They don't want to miss the next one. So be patient and wait. Wait for that setup and go. But alright guys, that's it for this one. Be safe, study up, study, 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 study. I will try to do a video on Monday after the market recap. Bring on Money Monday. Alright guys, later.